The Vietnam Museum of Military History ranks first in the system of military museums in Vietnam. Visitors, both at home and abroad, come to the museum to learn about the history of national construction and defense in Vietnam. On display at the museum are 150,000 artifacts, documents, and pictures. Of the total, around 2,000 items introduce the history of Vietnam, especially during the French and U.S. resistance wars.
Visiting the museum, I apprehend that our age, the age of people holding the guns to battlefields, has ended, and this is the age of peace.
This bicycle is called a special weapon of Vietnam during the Dien Bien Phu campaign. Dien Bien Phu is the place witnessing a fierce battle in which the Vietnamese forces decisively defeated the French, ending the colonial rule in Vietnam on May 7, 1954. The pack bike was able to move in rugged terrain and was easy to repair and to disguise in all types of weather conditions to carry supplies to the troops. Sitting in a special position is the tank 843, which was one of the two tanks hitting the gate of the Independence Palace in Saigon at noon April 30, 1975, ending the war and bringing peace to the nation. It was recognized as national treasure in 2012.
Visiting the museum and watching at the tanks and cannons make me remember the days taking part in revolution movement. I was so moved.
Many of the exhibits are death notices or pictures depicting the moments of reunion after war, which melt the hearts of many visitors.
This is the second time I've been here. Among the exhibits at the museum, I was impressed with the hairpin. He was tiny and does not catch people's eyes. But I noticed it because I find that during the war, women and children are the most vulnerable people.
Besides thousands of indoor exhibits, the museum also has an open space for large weapons and vehicles from both Vietnamese sides and the other sides. Some are precious exhibits and recognized as national treasures.
I think it's really well collated and really well put together and fascinating. And I love the fact that you come in and you see from 2,000 years ago and then you build up to the more modern history. It's really interesting.
I'm actually here as a guest speaker to orthopedic surgeons, but I'm taking a side trip around the country. And I'm very interested, especially in the history of Vietnam as it relates to the United States.
Being a place preserving items attaching to Vietnamese people and army from the early days of national construction to date, the Vietnam Museum of Military History has always been an interesting destination for domestic and foreign tourists when visiting Hanoi.